All right, it's for Mamuni Namako Abasunkusu about Ghana Politics Avenue, a high GH Politics Avenue, Hana open all the trending political stories in Ghana on between me. I can. Nebusian story the Bedamu, the Musurunku, a Sembe, and Aboni Bedai, the Bedum, it's for near her for. A year and net day, Anna NPP for organize a press conference. Press conference, nay about day, about LGBTQIA. Sensem na nipa Deuterania otina mu odi mu dwuma Reverend John Ntim Fordjour on mrashe bedwani ma asen south ho baby mrashe bedwani na ensem ni bi odi tutu dwa no na Emmanuel Bezra on so MP on the majority side abed disgracing totally on TV say ensema Ntim Fordjour ka President His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no enya no kore na president asema okan ne sa na okan no na Ntim Fordjour in his own imagination and because ansem no kora no for start he is very disappointed because see no private members bill or more person mo ye na come side bill no court parliament no majority for ye nipa 9 minority nipa 6 enso oma breso no be minority o mo dey sign call na majority no yo no nko an na nti no se ope amanyuku a saa bill we o mani di akiripa enke yo mo cause time no mu ni abem no mo ye nipa na NPP for nipa ba ko pe en na NPP for fra abem ni die omo and this for no mo abem ni nipa 9 the church o mo ye committed na and some of kind like why express total disappointment and na o se no ra ko die Ntim Fordjour ayi na and some do a cabi me continue abroad this answer me to New Central so TV3 abroad no twetwen komo awia kase bon high Ghana Police Avenue upload the trending podcast stories in Ghana aya na unsa can subscribe and hit the notification button me continue honorable Emmanuel Mra e ba di do bia nsa no ebe share.
Lead up to the 2024 elections, how do you respond to claims that you're playing hide and seek with Ghanaians on this bill?
Thank you very much, Mawina, and a good afternoon to your cherished listeners and viewers. I am really not happy with my colleague, Reverend Honorable Ntim Fordjour, being a colleague who is also a sponsor. He is not a main sponsor, but a sponsor of this bill will go on this project. I mean, we are political members. We are all from political parties. But to politicize this bill sparks us in the back because we do not agree as a bipartisan sponsors of this bill to go on this tangent. Now, you all remember that in the 2024, when 8 of us signed onto this private members bill, we were 7, and he was the only person from the NPP stock. Today, as we speak now, there are 10 members who sponsored this bill. 4 are from the majority side, and 6 are from their side. Unlike the previous one, when he was the only person who signed, the rest kicking out.
But doesn't it show?
Allow me to land, Mawina.
Right.
I just want you to put in a perspective that if majority side decided that we're not going to be part of this bill, we wouldn't have been part of it. Okay? But for my colleague to go on this tangent, beginning to look at it from a political lens, it is not good for the bill at all. This bill is a bipartisan bill. We want it passed, and some of us have even put our head on the line that it shall be passed. And I'm telling you that it will be passed. Now, you ask why is it that for a whole year that the bill was introduced? When was the bill laid in the House? That's what we should understand. It was laid just this year. The bill was introduced, but it was allowed to be late. And after it being late, it was referred to the committee, and the committee is working on it. We've been told that this holiday they will call us, we the sponsors, to come and defend it. What is new about this bill? This bill has been passed already. We only repackaged it. And so I believe that in less than no time, this bill will be passed, and then it will get to the presidency. What happens at the presidency, it is for us as Ghanaians to decide not for we, who are sponsored. As far as ours is to make sure that it is passed in the House and we will pass it.
But isn't that the language which he calls out as hypocrisy? Because on the campaign platform in the lead up to the 2024 elections, the president, for instance, mentioned that it was something that we're against and asked the former president why he had not assented to it and that he will assent to it. He comes to office, he assures that it will be of consideration, but in his recent interview says it's not a priority for him and his government, despite what he said on the campaign platform. And even now you say that after it's passed, you'll be left to the president to assent to it. The narrative and the position is beginning to change.
So, Marina, we are not in the president's head, neither are we in his hand. Let us pass a bill and send it to the presidency. You remember that during our time, it was truncated on the way. It didn't even get to the presidency.
Right.
As soon as it gets to the presidency, it was sent back. And then the Supreme Court gave interpretation that every bill that has been passed by Parliament must be transmitted to the presidency. So we are waiting. Let us pass it. And when it gets to the president says he will not sign, then Ghanaians will rise up and say, oh, Mr. President, in the bid to become the president again, you have said this and that. We have not gotten there yet. Parliament has not passed. Whether it's a private member's bill or public bill, it has not been passed. Let us pass it. My interest in this bill is for it to be passed. Period.
And do you have the firm assurance of the president that when it comes before him, he will assent to it? Because it was part of conversations when you were in opposition, and it should be a part of conversations now.
If I have not had any assurance from the presidency, I will not have appended my signature as one of the sponsors. I have every assurance that the president will assent to it.
Will you engage Reverend Ntim Fordjour on this tangent? Because you've expressed quite the disappointment with the narrative he's been churning out today.
I am really, really disappointed because when the bill was passed in 2024, he was part of those who sponsored it. His president, Nana Akufo-Addo, did not even accept the bill. When we were having press conferences, not during the time that we were passing in Parliament as it's being done now, it was passed in Parliament. Where was Ntim Fordjour? Why didn't he came out to condemn his president that the bill has been passed? He kept mute. Today he's playing politics with it. He should stop that. He's my friend, but he should stop that politicking. Some of us decided that we'll put our head on the line. And I have said it on many occasions that this bill must be passed. Otherwise, I'm not returning to Parliament. It should be passed. And I stand by it. So why would they be dragging it? Does he want to just make a political name out of it or what?
Well, that's the belief. The belief is that you made political... Honorable, the belief is that you made political capital out of it, and so it's time to return the favor.
I didn't make any political capital of it. In fact, I am a believer and I don't want anything to be done when in line with politics with this bill. That is why all the chiefs supported us. That is why all the clergy supported us. That's why all the imam and our colleagues from the Islamic fraternity supported us. It has nothing to do with any politics. It is something that has to do with our culture and Ghanaians run on it. Period. People should stop playing politics into it.
Right, Honorable, I appreciate you speaking to us this afternoon. I'm sure we'll speak again soon. That's the Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Bedzra speaking to us as one of the sponsors of the anti-LGBTQ+ bill. Most certainly not the last we're hearing of this particular subject matter.
Now, frequent power outages and transformer overload will now be a thing of the past in Accra. This is according to ECG, which is set to begin a 240 million cedi transformer replacement program across 8 substations in the capital. An investment which will significantly strengthen the city's power grid for the next 30 years. The exercise will begin tomorrow, April 8th, and run until Friday, and cover 12 transformers across substations in Adenta, La, Tashinungwa, Imaijon, Bachona, and Lashibi. Each unit is being upgraded from 20 to 30 MVA.
Here to see the power transformers present and we are upgrading from 2026 MVA to 3039 MVA, which is a very huge upgrade. So our customers should expect better power, reliable power, and the frequent outages and transformer overloads should be a thing of the past. This is the first phase. We will also move to other substations where this exercise will take place. It's also to inform our customers that we do appreciate their patience as we undertake this exercise. Of course, there are going to be some disruptions, some outages due to this exercise. We apologize for the inconvenience, but we hope that after this exercise, our customers would enjoy very reliable power, and our systems will also be well strengthened to take more of our customers, especially those who are now going to be in some of our communities. You know, our communities are expanding. It's important that we also expand our facilities. So this exercise is for us as Ghanaians, and we hope they will enjoy reliable power after.
It's News Central live on TV3. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you more news. Don't go. And causing damage to equipment. The suspects, who reportedly dressed in security attire, as you see in those pictures, are said to have extorted and seized items from miners under the guise of official duty. The suspects were picked up on April 2nd, 2026, following intelligence that a group of men dressed in national security attire, were moving through communities around Swaboy, demanding documentation from miners and seizing items. Now, these suspects have been identified as Amponsa Asare Wagan, who's 33 years of age, 28-year-old Nelson Agboja, Awedaga Norbert, who's 27, Francis Brefo, 35, and Benjamin Boache, a 48-year-old man who was then driving the Toyota Hilux vehicle, which was used in the operation. During the interrogation, the suspects claimed to be affiliated with National Security and NADMO. Matthew Ahiave joins us with more details on this story. Matthew, what else do we know about the operation that led to the arrest?
This operation, let me say, on the 5th of April, an intelligent-led operation yielded the results by arresting 5 people, which yesterday, one of them was granted bail. He was granted bail because he works with a car rental company, which was being used, the car that was being used for the operation. And therefore, the manager or the owner of the company brought documentation to testify the authenticity of the company. So they granted him bail, though, for him to help for a further investigation. And as I'm talking to you, those guys will be, next 2 weeks, they will go on remand. They will be taken to court at both the circuit courts. That is 2 weeks coming. So if you ask currently, this is what is happening. I see.
And that suspect who cried, what was the reason for the tears?
Okay. He made a statement that in local dialect that he was not aware of this operation. Meanwhile, when they went to the car rental company, they told the owner of the company that they were going for an investigation. They were going to do an investigation. Now, when they got to the DNA, they diverted the whole operation to the northern part of Western North, which is Dabieso, between Dabieso and Ntim. That is Swaboy. That is where they went to do the operations.
Matthew, we'll end it here for now. Thank you so much for the reporting. Matthew Ahiave is our Western North correspondent.
Now, the New Patriotic Party says the current government under John Mahama is dabbling in deception and double standards over the LGBTQ+ activities, saying the urgency they attach to a legislation in opposition has suddenly evaporated since he assumed office. Proponent of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, otherwise known as the Anti-LGBTQ+ Bill, John Ntim Fordjour, has observed that the NDC only weaponized the issue against the NPP in the run-up to the 2024 elections and deceived the clergy, Muslim clerics and Ghanaians. He has addressed the president for deprioritizing the matter. Christian Yali is live at the NPP headquarters for us. Let's join him right now for a bit more of details where that news conference has been happening. Chris, what more do we know about this demand and this assertion by Reverend John Ntim Fordjour?
He has just indicated that once he has addressed.
Hi, Chris. If you could kindly reposition for us, the connection to you is not quite the best. That's Christian Yale, is my colleague.
And also presented forces to Ghana. One thing that the narrative that they put out there, they portrayed the NPP government then as being indecisive and insensitive to what Ghanaians overwhelmingly agree to. He has made use of a data from CDD that says that about 93% of Ghanaians are for and are against activities of LGBTQ+. And so he view that coming into office, the NDC government under John Dramani Mahama has suddenly overchanged its position and moved from court.
Chris, let's hear the first. Let's hear from Reverend Ntim Fordjour. We'll try and work on the connection with the line and then have you as well share a bit more from that news conference for us. But yes, Reverend Ntim Fordjour addressing the press at the NPP's headquarters.
We have called you here today to address a matter of grave national importance, a matter that exposes the highest order of political deceit, hypocrisy, and double standards by President John Dramani Mahama and the ruling National Democratic Congress, NDC. For years, the NDC weaponized the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, using it as a political tool to deceive eminent clergy, our imams, our revered traditional leaders, and the good people of Ghana. Having secured power through this grand deception, President Mahama and his government have seamlessly shifted their stance, abandoning the very cause they championed so loudly in opposition. My colleagues from the NDC saw this not just as a moral imperative, but as a potent political weapon. They engaged the streets of Accra, our communities, the media, religious leaders, civil society groups, and traditional rulers, our imams, our pastors, and portrayed the MPP government at the time as indecisive and disconnected from Ghanaian moral values. During the 2024 election campaign, the then candidate John Dramani Mahama explicitly pledged to sign the bill into law when voted into power. He went as far as accusing former President His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo of delaying the bill's assent due to dependence on foreign aid. Mr. Mahama boldly declared that if Ghana were self-reliant, no foreign entity could dictate our laws. Faced with the realities of governance, including risks to the World Bank and IMF funding, as well as constitutional challenges, the NDC government moved from push the bill at all costs to manage how it is introduced and structured. President John Dramani Mahama has presented two faces to the world. One tailored for Ghanaian voters at home, and another carefully curated for American audiences abroad. While promising Ghanaians at home that he supports the bill in principle, he travels abroad and sings a completely different tune. Standing before the American institutions, his certainty dissolves into procedural language, deflection, and appeals to the democratic process. Today, The president hides behind the fact that it is a private member's bill to wash.
All right, abusuanya da mu nyina mo samoji bre na mo di tie na mo di ahwe ye said da ni abre nyina ye no I Ghana Politics Avenue, AGH Politics Avenue, open all the trending political stories in Ghana. Eyana onsa betumi akano. Enwafo nwom ne abusuafo ne ndedi kan ba saa channel yi so a. Adaro mani di no bo kwan so be subscribe to channel no bo subscribe button so na fo wi a. Adoma ne won che wona notification bell no ono. Na wa hit so say be ya video we ni subsequent videos a ba be dum bia no onsa betumi aka bi Ntim. No hu de ekos nti video beto wa na onsa aka Ntim na wo hu de ekos Ghana amanyo semu ne political space na afin so video de bedum means when je ho a ani je no obokwan so be so be like na wa share ama afoforo so nya bodofu nua wadanfu bi no so nya wubi no hu de ekos Ghana amanyo semu na fi comment section let us know what you think about this video na in ending sa was na on small we no yembo ma ye ka bi ma mi ka bi ama mo ni ko so dam na masai Ghana police service. Open all the trending political stories in Ghana ya na sabeka ya kramu ni na damas.